incisive investigative journalism there.
I like the fact that you've learned a lot from Parkinson, even stealing some of his questions, like, are you on crack? Which I know he always asks his guests.
Yeah. I like the fact that when she went, I don't know, I have the occasional way, well, that's alright for you. Good for you out. That was great.
It was brilliant.
That is the best interview technique I've ever heard anywhere.
I feel like there's still some questions unanswered.
Yeah, it hasn't proved it to me, I'll be honest,
No,
Carl. It hasn't proved me the existence of ghosts
I have to
and
say, Rick, that
poltergeists.
I was worried as soon as she got involved with the Ouija board. I was thinking, please do not get involved with that Ouija board.
Yeah. I was worried when I heard some giggling coming from the other stable.
Yeah.
Don't go over there. Don't go over there.
It's, what questions did she ask the Ouija board? You didn't ask her that, I noticed.
She didn't want to.
She didn't want to say?
No.
Okay.
Do you think it was something like why that you did to try and confuse the computer, and the spirit world got really annoyed, and they got confused, and they came back and started messing up her clothes?
But what do you think then?
What do you mean? What do you mean, what do I think?
What do you think?
What about what? There's nothing I can answer there. There's nothing I can answer.
Alright, she said...
Well, I just keep saying I don't believe in the existence of ghosts. Because of the impossibility.
Right. Now, when she said, I mean, the interview I did for 50 minutes.
You did for how long?
50 minutes.
55 minutes?
Yeah, we might use that at Christmas or something, right? But the thing is...
Well, that's the best you got out of 50 minutes.
They're the highlights.
No, I'll be honest.
MTV are not going to call again.
I'll tell you what, right? It did get a bit dark, and I didn't want that sort of stuff going out,
Saturday afternoon, yeah.
But, I can understand the heating thing. I said, well, you know, in the full interview I was saying, you know, that could be anything, couldn't it? Heating broke or something. Now, she said what else was she talking about?
Someone got into the bed next to her.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of said, well, you know, how did that happen?
Yeah.
And she couldn't explain it herself, but
Sure.
I said, but it did wake you up. Maybe you're a little bit sort of, still
Although the only explanation I can think of, if she didn't actually see anyone, is it was a ghost.
Yeah, well, that
She's
was
probably got a ghost getting
But
in bed.
what about cupboards opening and shutting?
See, again, the only explanation for that is a ghost.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't think of anything else.
Play a record. It's got to be a ghost.
It is ghost. I think you've proven it to us.
Yeah, a spirit.
Street spirit?
Yeah.
Nice. What else?
Hey. Street spirit. Radiohead. So, turns out ghosts do exist after all, Steve.
A woman what Carl knows proved it.
I've got egg on my face.
Yep.
On XFM 104.9.
Instantly, Rick, I should just encourage you and everyone else listening.
I really have got egg on my face, is that what you're going to say? Yeah, I've just been eating an omelette.
James Randi, a hero of yours and a hero of mine,
yeah.
he's on TV this week on Horizon, I think it's maybe Thursday, check press for details, trying to expose the nonsense that is homeopathy.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, yeah.
So I look forward to that.
Do you know what that is, Carl?
No, go on.
They've got a theory that if you say you got something an essential oil or something in a solution, 1 in 10 solution, and it does something to you, actually does something to you, they've got this thing where they dilute it to there's nothing in it, but because they're using the same water, and the water still has the same effect. It's sort of like a placebo that you know works. You know, that's the sort of theory of it.
What time's that on?
I checked the papers, but I think it's sort of 9 o'clock Thursday, something like that. It'll be interesting though, Carl. It will be interesting, mate. Trust me. I'll tell you what's also interesting, Rick. The prizes we're giving away this week on Rockbusters. We got for you David Attenborough's The Life of Mammals. I don't know, is this a new show? Is this on TV at the moment? Is this like a new thing? So that looks good, like a double VHS thing there. We've also got U2, the best of their 90s videos, even better than the real things on there. Mysterious Ways, Beautiful Day, Electrical Storm, the new one. Stuff on there, that's on the video. We've also got a couple of CDs, The Smashing Pumpkins. I think this is sort of alternative versions of a lot of their hits and stuff, live versions and stuff like this. Johnny Cash's current album, possibly his last. We don't know, because apparently he's not very well at the moment.
That's an album of covers.
Yeah, well, not all covers, some of his new stuff as well, but he's done covers of things like Personal Jesus by Depeche Mode, and Desperado, and Bridge Over Troubled Water. And the great thing about Cash is I read an amazing review where it says it's like he always makes them his own, do you know what I mean? It's like you can't even remember the old version.
Desperado by the Eagles?
By the Eagles, yeah.
I'd like to play that, just to hear that, because I haven't heard that. We'll play that and then give it away. These are actually good prizes, Carl.
Good prizes. We've also got, including a small, miniature three-wheel car, an Only Fools and Horses video. I think this is the special that was on Christmas TV last year. So if you're one of the people who didn't see it, I mean, wasn't there like 22 million people watching?
Ridiculous, yeah.
If you're one of the people who, you know, desperately wants to see it again, I know I do.
And wants a small yellow car
also wants thrown in. Car, then there it is. And also another of these compilations, arbitrary compilation albums, the best chill out album ever, Rick.
Sure.
If you're a fan of the Levi's Freedom ad,
I love the Levi's Freedom ad.
Then the track that
I hate the music to it though.
No. Well, that's a shame because it's included on here. Rick, how much do you love the Volvo TV advert?
Love it.
Because that
hate the music again though. Why?
That's a shame because
is it? Just the music. Oh, okay. Sure.
But there's also stuff on here. There's some interesting stuff. There's Pink Floyd. There's Coldplay. There's Roy Scott. So you know, it's probably worth it.
I love Pink Floyd. Except the music again. So we've got a bind for me.
That's a whole heap of treats.
And that's the winner of Rockbusters.
The winner of Rockbusters.
Coming up after the adverts.
Okay.
Doves, Caught by the River on XFM 104.9. We're into the second hour now. This is when this award-winning show really kicks into gear.
When you say award-winning?
We haven't won them yet. I mean, we will win some.
Hang on, let me remind you. There are bronze in the Sony Awards.
Oh yeah, we got a bronze. I don't go for bronze. It doesn't count. No, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. I'm Ricky Gervais, obviously, with me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington, which is what Heat write about, really. Karl's the main man. Think of Karl a year ago. He was just sitting in that room going, all right, I've done this. XFM. It's good, isn't it? Yeah, it's like a music bed. Brilliant. Comes on the show. We start taking the piss out of him. People start going, oh, who's the idiot you've got in? We go, it's Karl. And they go, we like him. He's a fool. I go, yes, he's a fool. He's a pet buffoon. And they go, well, let him speak more. Right? And they're going, don't let him talk. XFM, the fat cats.
Oh.
And I said, I'm a rebel and I do it my way.
Rick, can I ask, did you stick it to the man?
Yeah. And then MTV call up. Heat are writing about him every week.
Yeah.
He's just been doing film for the BBC.
There's some rumours he might be the new James Bond.
Yeah. He's eating lovely McVitie's original digestives. Are we allowed to? Can I? If McVitie's are listening, I love these biscuits.
Yeah.
And he's got the best.
If the Spearmint Rhino strip clubs are listening, I'm a huge fan.
Right. And he's got Rockbusters to come.
Yes,
let's do it.
I should just ask, the few people have asked me this, and there's also an email here from Rich. People are saying they've seen some of the posters and the adverts of advertising the show, plugging the show. Why aren't you on the posters, Karl? And it is your choice, isn't it? We did ask Karl to be involved, but
he is actually. It's like, where's Waldo? He's actually he's in my trousers.
You don't like having your photo taken. No, you're not seeking the publicity.
No.
I reckon you are secretly. I don't believe you.
No, he's right. He's totally right. He's doing it just right. But I think there's a fine line to be drawn that, you know, if you like being in, you know, around radio, you want your own show, or you enjoy talking and they just happen to be filming you for MTV, that's different. I think what you just avoid is going to silly celebrity bashes, having a picture taken for the sake of it. I mean, I think you're right, but I think you should do the screen test. On a serious note, I think you should do the screen test. Just because it might be fun, and if it's no good, they won't do it. And you can stop any time you want. No one has to keep going on telly.
I just think we're going to lose him.
No,
we won't lose him.
Listen, right? I'll always be part of this.
I'm just worried that you're going to exhaust yourself. You're going to be drained. You're going to have told all your anecdotes.
He certainly will if you have to help the old fella upstairs with the bed. Yeah, £50 an hour. Oh, that's terrible. Go on.
But I'm what I wanted to do, right? Because I don't want to embarrass myself, right? I don't want to embarrass the woman at MTV when I turn up and she thinks, oh, look at him.
Yeah.
What a waste of film this is going to be. Because it's not cheap. I know that.
It's not film either, but go on.
Well,
it is cheap. It is cheap. They're filming on a DV camera that they can go over. If it's no good, they won't show it to anyone. It'll be great. It's just what they want you. Honestly, I can just see you doing little things, just like popping up, you know, between the records and going, all right. MTV, music television, hear about the airy Chinese kid born, which is weird, isn't it? Because they're not usually airy. And it just goes, MTV. It'd be brilliant. It'd be brilliant, Karl. If I'll come down with you,
Well, we'll see.
Go on.
We'll think about it, right?
Go on. Right, Rockbusters.
So, Rockbusters, you know, it's a little clue, some initials, 3 different clues. You email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. You can win the load of stuff that we've got. So, first one, here's the clue. Stop throwing that fruit about.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the initial?
That's CB.
CB.
CB. Stop throwing that fruit about.
Yeah.
Alright.
Is Anders listening? Has he emailed us in yet?
Anders, not had any response from Anders. I'll keep
I hope he
abreast
hasn't
of that
stopped
then.
listening. Because he doesn't like the show. He's gone off. I hope he hasn't gone off the show.
So, the second one, that Scottish fella has made an error.
That Scottish fella has made an error.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's M.
M.
Right, that Scottish fella has made an error. Right?
Okay.
And, the last one, God, you can make a right load of toast with them.
You can make a right load of toast with them.
Yeah.
Alright, what's the initial there?
That's G.
Gee, I was thinking it might be bread for a minute, but no. Gee.
So just very quickly, stop throwing that fruit about, CB.
I've got the last one.
Right? Scottish
It
fella.
doesn't work. It doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Well, that Scottish fella's made an error. That's M. And, God, you can make a right load of toast with M. That's G. Email in ricky.gervais@xm.co.uk and you can...
We've got the CDs, we've got horses, we've got mammals on VHS, we got U2, we got a couple of CDs including Johnny Cash. That's from his new album, which is a collection of new songs and covers, which is one of the prizes given away on this week's Rockbusters.
And can we have the clues and the answers and the winners?
Yeah. First one was stop throwing that fruit about.
Stop throwing that fruit about. The answer is...
CB. That was Chuck Berry.
Oh, of course it is.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
The one that you've worked out, I'll do next. The, God, do you make a load of toast with them? That was G.
Gorillas. Gorillas, though, isn't it?
Gorillas. And the middle one was that Scottish fella's made an error. That was Mystique. Mystique. So,
did anyone get that?
Extraordinarily, almost all the people who emailed in,
I'm beginning to think it's us then, because I was thinking mistake, I was thinking muck error, and muck mistake, but mistake.
Yeah. So, do you want to pick a winner?
Yeah, I was going to give the prizes to Amy Massey, who's from Wiltshire, the West Country. Losers down there, probably as weird as you.
Yeah.
I always remember this story when I was a kid about some bloke. He had throat cancer, right? And his doctor said, carry on with your life, right? It's not going to be that good, but just carry on. But don't eat meat. And he was like, oh, I love meat. He's like, yeah, but just don't, have your veg, keep yourself strong, but don't be eating that. Anyway, he was fed up because he loved his meat, and his wife was feeling a bit sorry for him one day, and thought, I'm sick of him looking fed up and that. All he wants is some meat, for God's sake, give him some meat. So she goes to the butcher's, gets him a big piece of, like, steak and what have you. He can't believe it. He's like, oh, brilliant, cheers for that. Anyway, he's got the meat on his plate, just about to tuck in, and the cancer comes out from his throat. What? No, it's something, I know, it sounds really weird, but it's something that I was told about years ago when I was growing up.
What are you talking about?
It was just some bad illness, some cancer thing, and it was coming out waiting for the meat. It was sort of dying.
Again, I get a lot of your medical knowledge is from...
It's from the film Alien.
So this guy with throat cancer, okay, as opposed to it being a disease of the cell...
It was like a living...
The alien.
So it was the animal. It was the little animal cancer.
That's why
what
he
are you
wasn't allowed to
talking
eat
about?
meat. He wasn't allowed to eat meat.
So it's sitting there. So it's actually sitting there and so. Why? I'll tell you what I'd have done if I'd have had some cancer in my throat. I'd go. There you go. Rid of that. What are you talking about? So what happened?
He choked to death on this thing, and the wife was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have given him the meat after all." Just
That's
listen
bollocks story.
It's all. There's loads of weird stuff like that that happens in medical stuff.
Well, the terrible thing is, if you got testicular cancer and you eat meat, your bollocks come out of your trousers, and they're all over the plate, and you have to be asked to leave the restaurant.
Get straight into it. A band from the Conga have won the Best Newcomers in a Radio 3 competition. They use pots and pans for instruments. It says that the Conga is a poor, sad place. So why do people do that happy dance at the end of parties called the Conga?
Right, one is the Congo. There's no place called the Conga. They come from a place called the Congo. Congo! Get out, you're
Met Suzanne at Euston Station. I said I would sort out the tea tonight, so I called the curry house. The fella couldn't understand me. I asked for 2 poppadoms. He kept saying, how many? I kept saying 2. He still couldn't understand. I said 1 more than 1. He understood. When we picked up the food and took it home, there were 5 poppadoms in the bag.
Oh, God! Oh, God.
There is a restaurant somewhere that sells knobs to eat.
No, there's not.
There is.
No, there's not.
No, there is.
It says that women can't eat too many of them, and if you want a seal's knob for dinner, you have to book in advance.
Right, it's gobbledygook. This is the ramblings of a madman again.
It's a trend, he writes. It won't last long. It'll be like hummus. Called Ricky and asked what the difference is between the mind and the brain.
Yeah, he did.
That's a hell of a phone call
Yeah,
to get.
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Ricky did explain, but I can't remember what he said. I wondered at what age you are when the mind kicks in. Okay? Ricky changed the subject and said there is an island called Spider Island. There's nothing but spiders on it. A bloke went to visit the island and said there was 1,000 types of spider in one tree.
What do you think about that? What do you think of an island that's just full of spiders?
I don't know, because you need spiders. I don't know what they do, but they say a world without spiders, like, wouldn't be good. But they sort of do something. There's something about if you did get rid of them all, it would have an effect.
Well, of course it would. Get rid of anything, it'd have an effect.
Not everything though. Like I've said, you know, jellyfish and what have you.
Well, no.
It's 97% water or something.
Yeah.
So how much are they doing? Just give them another 3%, make them water. And that's more useful.
Give them another 3% and make them water. Oh, God.
Went into the gadget shop today. It's full of stuff that we don't need. Gadget used to be a good word that made you think of James Bond with all his gadgets. The best thing I could find in the shop was a clock that ran on potatoes. We are definitely going backwards.
I agree. Well, who cares about that? You know, a little electrical impulse, so what?
Had a night out with old schoolmate. Found out about more of the other lads I went to school with. One is living underground.
What do you mean living underground? Not like a mole. Do you
Yeah.
mean he's got a basement, or do you mean he digs a hole every night?
My mate went to visit him and he said it had been raining really heavily and that, and it's all the rain's running in.
What do you mean he went to visit him? He went down here? What's that? That's an hole in the ground. Yeah, come in.
He just said, "Oh, come downstairs," and he's living underground.
What do you mean he's living underground?
He's happy down there. He said it was really muddy and what have you. He said he won't be going back to visit him.
I believe this, though. I believe someone he went to school with now lives in a hole. That doesn't shock me.
You spent far too long with him, if that now you're just happy to accept.
I totally accept that. I'd be surprised if I walked round where he lived that there weren't more people living in holes. His dad wanted to throw his budgie on the fire.
True.
His budgie died, his dad said, let's throw it on the fire. I mean, his mum, what did your mum do?
She just was worried about the other bird that was left, so she made it a bit of company by getting a rock, getting a feather off the dead budgie, sticking it on the rock, putting it in the cage.
So, a man living in a hole
It's not
is
unusual.
not that bizarre. Right, carry on.
Watched a film about Hitler. Didn't watch all of it as it was subtitled. Can't be doing with that. Asked Suzanne if cinemas are full of deaf people when they're showing subtitled films. She said, shh, I'm trying to watch it. I said, what do you mean, shh? It's subtitled, I can make as much noise as I want.
Yeah.
She's a lucky, lucky woman.
You must be a joy to watch a subtitled film. I mean, the concentration is up there already. It's not as easy as when you're hearing it, because you read things, but you know, it's possible. If you had a buffoon going, I'm just going to sit here and make as much noise as I want, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
Do that in a cinema. Just walk into a subtitled film and go, right, everybody, let's all do the Congo.
We're having our bathroom done. The bathroom man was round at 9 this morning. We weren't allowed to use the shower because it all had to be bone dry before we could use his waterproof filler. Not that waterproof then. Went for a brew with Ricky. We talked about monkeys and how they are closer to humans than they are to apes, and how bees will drink cider to get off their heads. Now and again there is a bee that lets the drinking get in the way of the work, and other bees sting it to death. Blimey.
Yeah, well, there are bees. They love a drink, and they will drink pure alcohol. They love getting off it, and they fall down and they're drunk, right? But some bees get addicted in the same sort of percentage. It's human addiction. Like 10% of bees, they can't get enough of it. They take ethanol, they take cider apples and that, and then when they get back to the hive, they go in a bit pissed, and they've got guard bees, and they go, "Come on, we've all had a drink."
Bouncers.
Yeah, They sort of are, right? And they push them away, and they push them away again. Then the next time they go, right, I've had enough, and they give it a good hiding. And Carl couldn't get over this. I saw his face, but I knew that he was thinking of that bee with sort of like eyes rolling round his head, a little bit belligerent, with his jacket on backwards.
Yeah.
You know, and the bouncer going, come on, son, we've all had enough. Let's move away,
Yeah.
move away.
You're not coming in, right? You're wearing trainers.
Yeah, you know, you're wearing 3 pairs of trainers, and I'm sick of it. You know.
But what I did find out, because I went home and went on the computer trying to find out about drunk bees knocking about, they're not actually meant to fly. It's only because they don't know.
Fly.
Well, no, but they're if they were told that you're not actually designed to fly, they wouldn't bother.
No, this is that thing that goes around that aerodynamically, on the face of it, looking at the size of the wings and the body proportions and everything, that it's a surprise that they can fly. Okay, it's not that. No one's ever told them they can't, and as soon as someone tells me you're not meant to fly, they all fall out of the sky going, "Oh, what are we doing?" Like in a cartoon.
No, but it's something about the confidence and that. At the moment, nobody's saying.
It's nothing to do with the confidence. There is no such thing as confidence in bees. A bee never loses his nerve. That's not why it drinks. Because what are you drinking for? I'm just not confident anymore. There's no point to turn to the bottle. I can't go up there again. You're an idiot. Here's an interesting fact. If the frog annoyed you, this might annoy you. A blind chameleon will still change colour to match its surroundings. You're aware that the chameleon can...
Yeah, whatever it sits on.
Yeah.
But then what happens when you put one of them on a mirror? No, does it get stressed out, or what? What's it copying?
Well, it probably doesn't need to copy anything, because it looks at itself and it goes, oh, look, looks like that. That's brilliant. God, that was fast. That's the fastest I've ever done that. That is brilliant.
So they can go any colour, there's nothing, you can put them on anything, and they'll go to the thing.
I don't want you to have a chameleon, because you'd just be trying to see what it could and couldn't
Try and
do.
catch it out.
Oh no, yeah.
Pop it on some tartan.
But again, say like the frog thing, right?
Pop it on the telly.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it fast enough.
Why does the chameleon need that skill of copying a colour? Because at the end of the day, that's mainly sticking in the woods, isn't it? By trees, by grass.
Right.
Why can't it just stay green? That's all it needs. Those colour changes are only for camouflage, aren't they?
I don't know. Some of them are for attraction. Some of them to show moods, anger.
No, but I just think we're encouraging them. You see, maybe this is evolution or whatever, but at the end of the day, because they can change colour, they're wandering out of their area. They can be wandering about, you know, through a car park and everything, just because they'll go, well, I don't want to get seen, change the colour of concrete. Whereas...
Or into the colour of a Fiat Punto.
But they should just stay green. Stay green, right? Stay in the woods and stay safe.
Dandy Warhols, get off on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant.
Hello.
It's 2:05 on the day that Carl, our producer, found out that he had an E in history, GCSE, and nothing else, because he didn't actually register. I can't believe he registered for that. I don't know.
I didn't. That's
Someone else put you in. No, they can't have put you in, because you were away. They probably said, oh, you know, you didn't register in that. Listen, obviously, you feel a little bit melancholy, because it's, you know, it's like you're hearing it for the first time, so it's like you're 16 again. But it was to be expected. But
No,
listen, it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
But listen, take it again. Take it again. For your just, is there a history teacher listening? What's the number? 08700 800 123. They can tell us the syllabus this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, what is it?
08700.
And I've got maths. 08700 800 1234. Mine's more laziness that I couldn't be able to say that last digit.
Yeah.
Really. I've done most of the work.
Let's not, if we get onto your problems, then we're going to be, it's a whole other show.
It doesn't matter really, because like you say, right, I've done alright for myself.
Yeah.
It's that whole thing of like, when you get older, if you find out that your dad's not your dad, it's like, it doesn't matter, he was a dad to me.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So...
Are you saying Mr. Nuttall wasn't your real teacher?
Give out the number again, Rick, what we have to?
08700 800 1234. Is
No
there a
one can
history
know what
teacher
teacher.
out there that may know how we can... Is he too late to register this time?
What's
Do we
the
have to
syllabus
pay for
this
it?
year?
What's the syllabus this year? Do we have to pay for it? And does he want to earn, like, 25 quid cash in hand to give Carl a couple of lessons? I'll stump that up. Take it, yeah? Be great, be fantastic.
They probably won't want to do it though.
We'd
It's that
film
thing,
it,
isn't
it'd be a documentary on choice. Heat magazine be right behind it. There'd be, you know, little clues. We could have a little question and answer, little quizzes. You know what I mean? Be
Rick,
great.
before we play the next record, I've just been looking through the XFM gig guide, and I just wanted to let you know that at Spitz this evening, Commercial Street E1, doors at 8 o'clock, Gut Bucket are playing. So, no, just a lot of people, listeners will probably want to know that. So I don't want anyone to miss out on the Gut Bucket gig at Spitz tonight, Commercial Street E1.
That's a good plug for the Gut Bucket boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage.
Now, Steve just played one of the most beautiful records. I mean, so I've got to up the ante here, and I'm gonna play another Jimmy Webb track. I played it off 10 Easy Pieces last week, and I have played this track before, but a different version. You'll know it, obviously better by Glenn Campbell. He wrote a lot of songs for Glenn Campbell, and this is Galveston, and this is absolutely beautiful. Jimmy Webb there, and Galveston. See, and during that, Carl said, "What's this about?" Didn't you? See, it's things you're interested in, you see? If only you're that inquisitive when the Tudors and Stuarts came up, you'd have a C or a
So
B.
we didn't do Stuarts.
Didn't you?
It's just Tudors.
Oh, they're the worst, aren't they? Stuarts, I've got a lot of time for. The Tudors can, you know what I mean? Listen, right. As you know, I lent Carl, part of his education, his historical education, I lent Carl Gladiator, the movie, on DVD, which he watched on his PlayStation 2, and Rasputin.
Do you know last week when you gave me this, did you know my result for history?
No.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yep. Now, right, okay, it's the film review. Carl, you just tell it from the heart, tell us what you thought about the film, what you thought the...
Can I just ask, is this the first time you'd seen Gladiator? You'd never seen it before?
No.
Okay. And what were your thoughts?
Okay. The film review. Gladiator.
It's alright. Nothing great. It's like an old, sort of an old version of Rocky done in the olden days, really.
Right.
A bloke fighting other people.
Sure.
How sort of well known is the story? Do you reckon people know the basics?
Well, just very quickly, just do the plot.
Quickly. There's a guy called Max.
Maximus, yeah.
Yeah. There's Caesar, and there's Caesar's kid, and Max goes to war, sort of wins it, comes back. Caesar says, "You're good at what you do. I wish my son was as good as you. So I want you to be in charge when I die." His kid finds out, bit annoyed about it, kills his dad, because he don't want anyone to hear that he said that he wants him to be in charge.
Yeah.
So his kid gets in charge and thinks, "I'll show you. You're not going to be king, I am. You're going to be a slave or something." And then, next thing you see is...
Sorry, can I just stop there? My only thought is the film's 3 hours long, so maybe we shouldn't go through the whole plot, right?
We've done the first 10 minutes, but
Yeah.
go on. So, yeah, he's a slave, and then...
Yeah, but then, that was an interesting bit that I thought, right? I mean, I was watching this with a girlfriend, she was already annoyed because she wanted to watch Friends on E4.
Okay. Yeah. It was a good episode as well this week.
Was it?
Yeah.
Don't tell her that.
Okay.
Right, so she was annoyed and she said, "Come on then, put it on." And I got it wrong straight away because it says on the back 149, so I thought that was an hour and 49 minutes. It turned out it was 149. No, I thought it was 1 hour 49.
Yeah.
But it was 149 minutes.
Sure.
So it overran anyway.
By 40 minutes.
Yeah. So anyway, the interesting bit was where he was going across the desert on a horse. And I think to show you how long he'd been going across the desert on his horse, he's showing you a shot of the horse's knees and they were bleeding. And I just wondered whether that's what horses do if they run for a long time. Do you know?
I don't. Good.
Right, so anyway, so he goes on, it keeps going on like this. He's a slave, and then he has a fight at the end with the Caesar's kid, and he kills him. And that's how it ended.
Okay, good. What did you think of it? Just generally, what bits... What do you think was wrong with it?
Right, well, I've read up on it, and there's already a fact that is wrong.
Right.
Caesar's kid, he didn't actually kill his dad. His dad died of a natural death.
Right, in real life, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, what's Caesar's kid's name? Comedian or something? Comedian.
I think it's comedian, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the name comes from. When a funny person is called a comedian.
He didn't actually get killed in real life by Max.
No.
He died by his sister poisoning him, and And he didn't die. No.
Are you saying that this is not a historical document?
It's wrong.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of...
Well, next week I'm giving you Braveheart, and that is actually true. That is factually accurate.
I can't handle
it. It is. It was a little Australian fella that helped him out.
Just for people who watched it, they know that the guy, Caesar's kid.
Yeah.
He died. His sister tried to poison him. That didn't work. Apparently, he was a gay fella, and his boyfriend, who was a wrestler, strangled him. That's.
Well, where did you get this information?
On the internet. I thought I'd look it up to see how much of it I actually got right.
Yes.
And that's what I read.
Okay, so out of 10?
5.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's no good. I wouldn't get it out. It's annoying the way it says, like, you know, this film's got to be seen at the cinema, because I saw it at home, and I don't think I missed out on anything.
Very good point. I think that's probably the point they're making, but yours is valid too. We'll play a record, and after that I'm going to ask you about Rasputin, the Mad Monk. Travis and Sing. I like that. That's all right. It's a bit easy. It's not their best. I like their earlier stuff a little bit better, you know. But what I don't like is them throwing around mollusks. I don't like it when that poor little octopus gets flung around. I know it's dead, but there's a certain lack of respect for the
whole mollusk community.
For the squid and octopi fraternity.
Like I said to you, when I used to go to Wales for my holidays, they used to get washed up on the beach, and people used to go over them on the motorbikes. And they were cheering and stuff, and it's just like, do you realise what you're doing?
Yeah, sick, isn't it?
But anyway, Gladiator, just was going to add on the end of that. If you're into that sort of film, Jason and the Argonauts is probably a better bet.
Is that factually accurate?
Did you look that up or not? Did skeletons actually come out of the ground and fight?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's a more enjoyable film.
Okay.
It's shorter.
Boy with the Arab Strap, Bell and Sebastian. Coming next, Educating Ricky.
You too, Electrical Storm. Steve, am I mental, or have we been playing some great tunes
We've
today?
been playing some great tunes. You're not mental. You're a genius.
Yeah. Our next FM wonderful with Ricky Gervais would be Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl Pilkington in the chair now. The talked about, the acclaimed Educating Ricky.
Right, well, just in case anyone's new, doesn't normally listen, basically, I'm educating Ricky. Do a bit of research in a week, find stuff, news, history, anything that's interesting. 3 stories, I give them a nice little headline. You take your pick. Between now and 3, you're going to learn 3 things. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, the headlines are, I'll be no buying one of them.
Give us that again.
I'll be no buying one of them.
Nice, okay.
Yeah. We've also got hippopotamus.
Okay. Okay.
And can you believe it?
Can you believe it?
Well, I'm going to go with hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus?
News.
Right, well this one, it's, I'm not going to take the credit here. I heard Christian talking about this on breakfast, right, because it's a good story that happened. Basically, I don't know if I told you about it last week when we were having our spaghetti, but,
I think you did.
Right,
I know what it is. I know what this is.
Okay, I've not heard this.
Right, there's a little midget. Right, there's a circus.
I'm loving it already.
Circus going on somewhere. I think it was in America. And
is that present day or old times?
I'm talking like in the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
Right, little midget, circus, really packed out show. People are loving it.
Steve, you asked the same question I did. I know.
So there's a little midget jumping up and down on a trampoline.
What's circus is this?
Right.
I'd pay good money to see it.
So everyone's clapping, and he's getting carried away.
Because he can't believe they're loving it. I didn't know they'd like a little person on a trampoline, but they love me.
But you know what it's like when, if there's a crowd of people sort of encouraging you to sort of go higher and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he knew it was getting out of hand. But he was jumping, and he was coming down the road going higher, and he's going really high in the air, right? So he's doing this, crowd are clapping. There's a hippo, right, just sat next to the trampoline, getting ready to come on and do his act.
Oh, right, I thought he was in the audience.
There's a hippo getting ready to do his act, Steve.
Yeah. So
he's a ventriloquist.
What do you mean he's sitting by the trampoline waiting to do his act?
Because it's
Why does he sit in the dressing room and they go, 5 minutes, Mr. Muss, 5 minutes, Mr. Muss.
So anyway, right, so the hippo's there,
He's getting annoyed, is he? Because the midget's
He's
eating
going,
into
how
his
can I
toe.
follow this? How can I,
he's
this is
probably
really
thinking,
annoying. They're going to be, oh
Yeah.
no.
so
He's thinking, he's already done the trampoline, my pogo stick act is never going to work.
Yeah, go on, so there's a hippo waiting. See, it's a great story and I just know he embellishes it or he gets slightly wrong. Go on.
So
there's a midget jumping up and down, the hippo's getting annoyed.
The crowd are going
The
mad,
crowd
the
are going
midget's
mental.
loving it, can't believe his luck. Although you think, he probably knows he's dicing with danger.
Yeah. So, next thing you know, they're all saying hiya. He gives it one big, like, heavy sort of landing on the trampoline, goes really high, but goes off at a funny angle.
Oh,
Hypotenuse.
okay.
Yeah. And sort of flies off.
Sure.
Flies off at a funny angle.
Oh dear.
Hippo's there, swallows him whole. Crowd are clapping, thinking that's why the hippo was waiting there.
Rubbish. Rubbish.
It's not rubbish though.
But no, maybe there was an accident in a circus with a midget and a hippo, but at no point was this hippo waiting to go on, going, come on. The midget flew off at a hypotenuse and landed in the hippo's mouth and was swallowed whole. This is what you embellish it. That is great. And what's
I
that?
have to say though, Rick, when I heard midget, trampoline, hippopotamus, I was thinking accident waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
maybe? I mean...
It is that you should never put those three together.
Never.
It's a recipe for disaster. Everyone
textbook.
knows that. Midget, trampoline, hippopotamus. Are you mental?
You're asking for trouble.
Well,
You know, when he told me it, he said, and the midget, he didn't mention the hippopotamus, and he said the midget went on, and soon he fell off, and the hippo ate him. And I said, sorry, what was the hippo doing there? He went, it's a circus.
I've never heard of a circus having a hippo.
What do hippos do?
What can they do? You can't train them, can you?
What do you...
Aren't they, like, very deadly? They're huge, aren't they?
You can't have a hippo in a circus.
are you sure?
You're not thinking of Zippo?
He's neither clown.
Yeah. No, and it wasn't some sort of where Zippo was eating a midget, and it's some sort of horrible sexual act.
No, it was definitely. I heard it on breakfast, right?
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, it's definitely fact.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
definitely
right,
true.
okay, good. Well, let's play a record then.
So,
I'd like to play a classic Springsteen. We're all fans of Springsteen there. This might be his debut album, I'm not sure. Greetings from Raspberry Park.
I think it is, yeah.
New Jersey. And this is Growing Up. It's great, it's classic. Springsteen and Growing Up off of Asbury Park album. Great. They make you feel good, Springsteen,
Oh,
doesn't he?
he's a joy. He's an absolute joy. Rockbusters. Rick,
This is what they're all
tuning in
reading
for.
and writing about.
Absolutely. Before you get the clues, let me just remind you of the prizes you're playing for. We've got the Manic Street Preachers' Greatest Hits on DVD. We've got the film Human Traffic on DVD. We've got the Best Air Guitar Album 2 on CD. Groove Armada's, is this their current album?
Yeah.
I guess it's not selling very well. They're still trying to promote that. You can have that as well. If you are a fan of the Ford Fiesta TV ad, of the Vodafone TV adverts, you will love the...
You didn't think you liked indie? Well, you do.
Exactly, and that's got Feeder and Travis and Badly Drawn Boy and all sorts on there. Plus, my own copy, $6.99 it cost me, The Pelican Brief, starring Julia Roberts and Denzel Washington. If you've not seen that, panned and scanned on VHS. So what are the clues?
Do you know what a pelican? I read the other day that has to turn its head upside down to eat.
Give us the clues.
So, Rockbusters.
Well, let me just explain. A bird has a gullet, and an esophagus and a gullet is all in one thing. It hasn't got peristalsis, which is the movement that we have that can make food. So a bird can only rely on gravity.
Yeah.
So it has to have its head up and has to shake. It can't eat.
You were going to say that, weren't you, Carl?
Yeah. So, Rockbusters, you mentioned it earlier, one of last week's was, it's a cryptic clue and then some initials. I was in Texas, I fell in a puddle on my knees got wet, WH, wet knee, Houston.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing we can
Use of the word knee twice there in the cryptic clue and in the final
And the word
answer.
wet, I think you're right.
Yeah, which is wit. So fine, good.
So, there's three of them. It's email only, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Sure.
Load of stuff to win. Here we go. Right, the first one.
I'm writing these down. Go on.
Making it of them.
The fella has only got one badge left.
The fella has only got one badge left.
Yeah.
What are the initials?
That's just E.
Just E. Oh, just E.
Just E. The fella has only got one badge left.
This is either a solo artist or a band.
Yeah. Second one. The unmarried lady is a friend I eat out with.
Say that again?
The unmarried lady is a friend I eat out with.
The unmarried lady is a friend I eat out with.
Yeah.
What's the initial?
MD.
MD.
MD. And finally, I really love that woman. I love everything she does. That's M. No, I think
Give us that one again.
I really love that woman. I love everything she does.
And that's...
Right. M.
Right, now I've got that one.
Right.
Okay.
That's great, it's great. That's lovely.
So, yeah.
That's great.
I think the second and third one's quite easy. First one is a killer.
Is it tricky?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. So, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, and what, we pick a winner out at about 1:45 or something like that?
2:45, yeah, absolutely.
No, 2:45, what am I talking about?
2:45.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's dynamite stuff. Well done, Carl.
Excellent.
More educating Ricky next.
Yeah. So, the first one was, the fella's only got one badge left.
I have no idea.
The initial was E.
Go on.
Will I get out the answer now?
Yeah,
Steve?
give the answer, yeah.
I think you should.
That was his last sticker. Yeah?
Elastica, the band Elastica. I'm
Right,
not
doesn't
sure.
work,
No.
doesn't work.
The word sticker and a badge are not interchangeable.
And it's not his last sticker, it's Elastica.
Yeah, but, like, his last sticker. So, someone's got it.
Oh! So say a different word and it works. Oh, so if the band is Elastica, then it works. God, if only Justin would have named it different. If she'd have just gone, let's call it Elastica, then we'd have, yeah.
Second one.
What was the clue?
The unmarried lady is a friend I eat out with.
Go on.
That's Miss Dynamite.
Miss Dynamite.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, but it's been running for 4 weeks. We've done the obvious ones.
Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Miss Dynamite.
Again, if she'd have called herself Miss Dinnermate, it would work. She didn't. See, what's happening is pop stars are letting you down by naming themselves incorrectly for your clues. Those don't work. They don't count.
And the last one, I really love that woman. I love everything she does. That was M.
Yeah.
That was Madonna.
Yeah, Madonna. I'm going to give you that. That worked, yeah. Right, that's the end of that feature, until you can get ones that work. Okay, so you won't hear any more of that, because it's rubbish.
Art should be there to tell a story, not just to have a splash of colour. We know.
Well, Suzanne likes some art. Just like Suzanne's not allowed to watch telly unless it's a favourite thing. Otherwise, she's got to talk to me about stuff. There's no art. There's no point. Just wallpaper.
I'm just saying, we've got three windows we can look out of.
Right.
Right? Stop looking at the walls, look out the window.
My man phoned and said that my Auntie Nora, classic Auntie Nora, wanted me to look on the internet to find out what the weather will be like in Spain at the end of November. I don't know where she gets her money from. 2 months ago, she was asking me Dad how much it would be to get her back garden astroturfed because she's sick and tired of the grass getting out of
What does she
hand.
want to do? Start a football team? What does she want to back out an AstroTurf?
She likes the sort of green look, but she doesn't like the headache that comes with it, so she's just looking into getting that false grass put in there.
Brilliant.
Don't know how much it is. But.
Went round to Ricky's and had some chicken curry that Ricky's girlfriend Jane had made. Ricky and Jane were going on holiday for a few days and had arranged for Glyn to come in and make sure the cat was okay while they were away. I'm sick of that cat. I was surprised that they hadn't paid for the little shit to go away with them on first class. Blimey, getting a bit vitriolic in the diary.
Why doesn't he like the fact that I've got a cat and I love the cat? Why?
It's just everything in that house that you've got gets sort of special treatment, and it's a cat, and it
What do you mean you
annoys
get
me.
special treatment?
Sometimes
We put food down for it, and sometimes it gets on our lap and we stroke it.
You don't just stroke it.
We're
you
not sending
massage it. You massage its back. You go, no, you're stressed out.
Well,
you're
no, it's
stressed
good.
out."
No, I'm not saying you stressed out. At no point did I say you stressed out. You said, "What the fuck are you doing for? Is it stressed out or something?" I like touching my cat.
To be honest with you, I don't like Ricky's cat.
Oh, I can't believe
Because every time I go around there, it goes straight from the ghoulies.
But it's like the lizard thing you've got. It's just sat there. You've bought it a big box, right, to be in.
Right,
The
one,
last
it's a salamander, so it's an amphibian. It's
Yes.
not a box, it's a big vivarium.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
And
is...
as it, and if you're going to criticise someone for just sitting there, having a round head and doing nothing with its life, people who live in glass houses,
No,
we've
but
done this one.
Do you know what gets me though, right, Steve? When I was there, I was looking at it and I thought, is it dead? Right, because he's just sat there. Like,
And it was thinking exactly the same fucking
he sat
thing.
there, not moving, right? And then on the top of the box is like a box full of crickets and stuff. That's it. It's its food.
Yeah.
Right? But they were more active than the thing that it was going to feed. Get rid of the lizard. Keep them in there. More entertaining. Don't understand it.
A few months back, a girl who was having a kid showed me one of them scans of the kid that was in her. That's science gone mad, innit? I couldn't think of anything nice to say, as it looked like a frog.
Do you know why we've got to that point? What? Why have we got to see something that young? Why?
Because people can keep an eye on the progress of the baby in the womb.
Yeah, but why are they printing it out and stuff? Surely that's for a doctor to see.
Well, that's just an added bonus for people who are interested in such
Well,
things.
that's like saying, why'd you take pictures of anything?
No, but what I mean is, why? At what point are we going to stop? Are we going to start sort of X-raying the fella's testicles and saying, well, there it is at a really young age? Well, where are we going to stop?
It's just horses for courses, isn't it? Some people like to have a record of their baby in the womb. They like to show their baby. They're excited about it.
They sit down and they show the friends the slideshow. That's the birth. Oh, that's the conception. Oh, look, Ron's going a bit mad there, isn't he?
But why do I need to see this? This is what I'm saying. It was an awkward situation because she was happy with it. I was like, oh, God. You know what I mean? It was an odd-looking thing. I couldn't say, oh, it looks like you, because that would be a diss. Speaking of flies, though, and that, they've got one, right? I was out with Ricky, right, and he was reading the paper. There was a story there about a fly that its eyesight was bad or something, and they'd made it a pair of glasses, and it had a picture of a housefly wearing...
Okay, this is incredible, Steve.
Glasses.
Can I take over?
Hang
here?
on, let me just need to finish a couple of questions for that. So there's a small fly and they've made it a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
So that it can see better.
Yeah.
And your concern is what?
Well, again, it's just that thing of we're looking after everything now, aren't we?
Sorry, I've got to come in here, Steve.
All right.
I showed you the
You saw
story.
it, you saw
It was
it.
a picture of a housefly
Fly,
with a pair of glasses,
glasses
right?
on, yeah.
Right. It was about a one-sentence thing. It was about how far technology's come,
Yeah,
and
and
a
we're
group
helping
of
flies
scientists
out.
using microscopy, right, and laser tools had. As an exhibition, shown that they could make a pair of glasses smaller to fit on a hat. They put it on there and they've taken a picture of it, and it's on display. At no point was it actually, because the fly had bad eyesight, the fly was presumably dead. It was purely an art installation or a show of technology.
I thought you were going to say, Rick, that you'd drawn the glasses on there.
Yeah.
And he believed it like, there's a bearded lady in this paper. No. my God, Tony Blair looks like Adolf Hitler. No.
What do you think of that, though?
But they did
Well,
it as an
flies out.
experiment.
Yeah, but all things start as an
But
experiment.
why would they make a pair of glasses for a fly?
How would they know he had bad eyesight?
How would they know it was the same fly?
Bumping into stuff? I don't know.
Bumping into stuff.
It's just that thing, innit, of human nature is something's wrong with something, let's fix it. And they try and help people out all the time, don't they? When you know, we're always doing it. We're always trying to help people out instead of just going, you've been dealt a duff card, cope with it. Came up with a good idea.
We'll be the judge of that.
I do it now. It's not a good idea.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sticking my neck out here. I think this isn't going to be a good idea.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Well, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to second that motion.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if we're both right.
See-through skin.
High five, Rick!
Why are they hanging about round there? Why aren't seals going, do you know what, it's cold, I'm sick of it here. It's windy all the time, what have you, and I'm getting a club on the head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're meant to be quite bright in terms of animals and that, aren't they? So why are they knocking about them parts?
I don't know.
Say, like, if seals died out, right, would that be a problem?
We've done
We've
this.
been through this before, Carl.
Everything has a knock-on effect.
Even a seal, that's sort of in between something already. It's between a fish and a and a dog, innit?
I knew you were going to say dog.
It's not between a fish and a dog. What do you think evolution does? Fish to
I'll never
dog.
understand it. Maybe we
What
shouldn't
do you
talk
mean
about it.
it's between a fish and a dog?
I'm just saying it's.
It was a perfectly evolved mammal that re-entered the water, I imagine, and then got streamlined and I mean, it's between a fish and a dog.
But why not have one and the other? Why not have, like, you know, you've got a dog, you've got a fish.
No, it's not
anything in the
between a
middle,
fish and a dog. It's not between a fish and a dog. I don't know what between means. Well, I don't know what...
This is it again about saving everything all the time. What is it doing? What's it doing? Everyone's feeling sorry for him all the time. Save the seal and all that. What's it doing? Why are we saving it? Let's just ask that question. What's it doing?
I don't know what to say. It's between a fish and a dog. Problem, wouldn't it?
We're changing everything all the time, aren't we? I mean, there's some fella who was looking at on the internet, identical twins, right? They were sort of sick of looking like each other, so they were like, what can we do, right? And one of the twins said, you have my arm, right? And he had his arm taken off and stuck on his twin, so his twin's got like 3 arms.
No, it's not true.
It's on the website.
No, it's not true.
What, for a laugh? They were born
So
so they didn't have
No,
no,
but
laugh.
just like-
What doctor's doing this then?
Well, they're old enough to sort of say this is what we want, and
No. Doctors don't go, well, if he wants another arm and I'll take it. They don't, doctors don't do that. What sort of practice is this doctor going around and go,
Dr. Jekyll.
I mean, Carl, think of what you're saying.
but with-
where would he have stopped? Can you put his head on my knee? It's up to you.
No, but
Sign this. If you sign this, you give my consent.
but we, you know, it isn't
What do you think these doctors are doing?
just to do as they're told.
They don't do as they're told.
They do if someone wants it, and twins sort of, it can get you down, can't it? Being a twin, because it's like,
Sorry, what would this solve, though? I thought you said he gave one of them a bigger nose or a beard or 2 front teeth to make him look different, right? Not... I'll tell you what we could do. Go on. Would you like one arm? Go on, what are you thinking? Well, me 3, you 1, therefore not twins.
Novelty.
I mean, you are a mental man.
but they can do it now, can't they? There's no sort of, there's no line drawn anymore. They don't go, you're crazy, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, in Saw 2, not in the real world.
No,
they
but-
don't do things like
All right,
this.
there's another bloke, right? I don't know the sort of full ins and outs of it,
Go on, you surprise me.
but what he asked for, something happened to his tackle.
It's penis.
Yeah, right. So he was at the doctor's, and they were like, "Oh, what can you do for me? It's a bit embarrassing. I've got nothing down there." Right. So they were like looking at it, going, "Yeah." Doctor, I don't know if he started like rubbing his chin with his finger or something. Looked down. He's thinking, got an idea. You know, you've got a lot of fingers. How many of them do you use? The patient's like, yeah, I see what you're thinking. They cut off one of his fingers, sewn that on to where his tackle is. He's happy.
Well, that's different, though, isn't it?
Well,
That's where they've
really
taken
different.
tissue. No, but I assume they fashioned it into more of a knob than a finger.
If you were doing that, use a sausage. I mean, why lose a finger?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because your finger has your tissue, your blood type, and therefore would graft near your testicles. A sausage is a thing that's made by a butcher out of offal, okay, that really can't be grafted onto any part of the human
Yeah, but-
body. That's why they very rarely use any meat products
Yeah, but
in surgery. I know, yeah. Well, I mean, why not use a sausage? You're a mental case.
07 distractions, very nice. Yes, I approve of that, Carl. Good choice there. Now, Steve.
Yes.
Carl came round to my flat. It was Tuesday night, wasn't it?
Nice place.
Now, thanks. Now, last week after the show, I think you guys were, in the time you were in the toilet, like, Carl got out the lottery, ticket that he'd bought. He went, I'm feeling really confident tonight. He was going, I laughed. He went, no, seriously. He said, look at the numbers. And I looked at them, and I think they were 4, 6, 8, 20, 36, 48, weren't they? He was going, I just got a feeling about those, I wasn't sure. He went, although, you know, my girlfriend said that, you know, if I won the lottery, we'd probably split up, because we like such different things, meaning she likes to travel, and he doesn't. And so he said, so what I said was, well, if I win, then I won't tell you. I'll just treat you a little bit more. Brilliant.
That's brilliant logic.
That is great. Anyway.
I'll look after her.
Oh, I imagine you take care of her, yeah. Yeah, you're a good guy. How would you do it then? You just sneak little gifts in slowly over many years.
Yeah.
You don't think she'd rumble the fact that you, like, don't work anymore and drive a Lamborghini?
Well, I'd still do this, I think.
What, just like as a kind of beard, as a cover story?
Yeah, just
So you'd pretend to come to work, but maybe off partying and stuff in the daytime?
Yeah.
Clever.
Now, he didn't win.
Okay.
I phoned him up Saturday night, he won one number. One number. I think it was 8, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of 8s on my piece of paper, wasn't there? So I think it was either an 8 or an 18 or a 48.
And he went, and he was disappointed. He said, waste of time. I went, well, he said, no, waste of time. He said, I've worked it out. I went, go on. He went, there are 26 letters in the alphabet. I went, yeah. He went, think how many words you can make out of them. He went, there are 48 numbers on the lottery. I went, yeah, 60 million to 1. He went, yeah. Not worth it.
I looked into that in the week, right? And there's even less letters in the Welsh alphabet. They've only got 20, and yet they've got loads of words as well. So even 20, the chances, if there was 20 numbers and you had to pick 6 winners, it'd still be really...
Unlikely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You should be a mathematician. And anyway, so we got talking about it. We got talking, that was me, him and Jane right there. And I told Jane that he said about, oh, if you won the lottery, no, he doesn't like travel. And she went, why do you like travelling? And he went, well, I don't like planes. I'm really scared of planes and that. And she went, well, if you won the lottery, you could have a world cruise. And he went, no. She went, you don't fancy it? I went, no. He said, if you go on a world cruise, what do you do next year?
Oh,
Genius.
it's brilliant logic, Carl.
It's
But
great.
you know on the world cruise you don't actually see the whole world. I mean, you...
And if you did, it's not like say, well, I don't want to see that twice. Do you know what I mean?
The world.
It is the world. It's a lot. It's a lot to see. And
Did it never dawn on you before about the numbers in the lottery? Have you been playing this for years and thinking that you had a good chance, and it was just like you and a handful of other people that were doing it?
Just as much chance as everyone else, but then when you actually sit down and think about
Sure.
what you're doing...
He's done it again this week.
Tough one.
He went off doing it one more time, and he showed me the numbers, and he went, they look a bit more healthy, don't they?
What numbers are you going for this week?
It's alright laughing, but we'll see tonight.
Yeah.
Go on then.
So look,
You know, people, if people do this and they win, if you take these out and people do these, you'll have to share it with someone. It's alright though, isn't it? Give them a chance. Tell them give people a clue. What numbers are you doing, Carl?
no, I'm not going to tell them all. I'll give you 4. I've got 5, 9, 12 and 26.
Okay.
You're not going to give us the other 2?
No. Because that's a big difference, isn't it?
What are the...
4's worth about 8 grand in it, but if I give him the other 2 and it wins...
Yeah. What are those 4 numbers again?
5, 9, 12, 26.
Also, coming up is Carl's GCSE results. He took them in 1988, I think.
Was it?
And we've phoned his score, we've tracked him down. We've got Carl's GCSE, what did I say?
How many did you get, Rick?
Clinic, walking with these, sorry about that earlier. You know, I like to keep a tight, slick ship, and that lets us all down, doesn't it? When something goes wrong with the shoddy equipment in this place. Why don't you buy some new stuff? You must be earning a bit of money now, wasn't you? We got a few listeners now, we get adverts, don't we? Why don't they just buy a new CD player? You can go down to Richer Sounds and get one for 50 quid.
Yeah. I don't know. Because I suppose when you're starting off, you save the money you make first before you spend it.
Go down to Record and Tape Exchange, take all the 4 non-blondes and excess stuff you've got.
Out of the record library.
You'll be able to get an old CD player.
25 minutes this week it took.
Before the 4 non-blondes as big as you mentioned.
I think we should make that some sort of call in to win feature.
Carl, are we using the equipment that you used to use when you had Pilkey's Making Music, the DJ outfit that
I
you made
love
around?
that. That was Karl Pilkington and someone making, what was it?
Colin Macon.
Colin Making. Pilkey's Making Music.
Genius. Are we
That's
using
right.
that same equipment?
Did you earn any money?
I paid for the tube lights and that. I sort of covered my costs.
Did you? Did you
they
pay
gave
tax on that?
And then, no. Oh, that's what they get Al Capone on, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That's right. Don't worry about the music policy. We're sorting that out. We've got some Verve coming up. We got some Jimmy Webb, we got some Nick Cave, we got some Amy Mann, we got some Travis Cornershop. You know what I mean? We're sorting
some
ourselves
big names
out.
there.
We
Some
just
big names
we haven't started yet. We're just starting, getting going. We got Carl's GCSE result.
Let's just do it now.
Should we do it now?
Well, I think we should have a White Van Man session.
Oh, White
'Cause
Van
I think
Man
people tune in for the White Van Man
Yeah,
session.
people who haven't
Carl.
tuned in, they don't know.
If people aren't familiar with this, The Sun runs a column every day which is asking some punter from the street their views on the week's big events, and we just thought, why not hijack that idea, but apply it to Karl Pilkington. Carl,
Seen much news again this week.
you've not seen much news. Don't worry, I'm sure you have an opinion on
Just
it. Anyway.
give us it from your heart.
So Gladiator.
Okay, so, well, on the subject of Gladiator, what do you make of Russell Crowe's appalling behaviour at the BAFTAs?
This is, I heard a bit about this. This is, when he got some director or something, because...
Intellectual producer and threatened them, because they cut his bit, didn't they?
Yeah, they cut a poem that he'd done during the acceptance speech.
I watched it on Sunday night. I didn't realise it wasn't live, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, I quite liked the way it was to the point and didn't mess about. He went up, he said thanks.
So you're saying that he shouldn't have beaten up the director? Is that what you're basically saying?
It's a bit over the top.
You thought
I mean, if you didn't have time, if you really, I mean, what's the poem got to do with the film anyway? He was an awards.
So do you think it's ever justified to beat up a TV director if you're a major Hollywood star?
Depends what he's done, but I mean...
Right, what would you have to have done, Carl, for it to be fine for him to then beat him up?
The thing is, right, forget all the beating up. At the end of the day, it was a awards thing for a film. The poem had nothing to do with the film.
Yeah.
So go up, collect your award for that thing. And if he really, really wanted people to hear about this poem, he could have photocopied it and
Sure.
left it at the entrance and said, on your way out, this is a really nice poem, pick one up.
No, but the thing is, he knew it was televised, so he knew by saying that poem once, he was reaching 5 million people. That's a lot of photocopies. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying he was justified.
It wasn't a poem award. If it was an award show for poems, you'd say you can't cut it out. It'd be like doing the top 40 and then going, number one's good, but we haven't got time for it. But it's a films thing.
Okay.
And he went up and he got the award for the film. Which film was it for?
I don't know. But when I wanted to give you results, I said, let's give Carl his results. Steve went, no, we should introduce people to Carl again, just remind people what Carl's like. And he's so right. I'm so glad we did this first.
Am I right, though? Or am I
Carry on,
wrong?
Steve.
Okay, the next topic, what about this big debate over whether Kylie Minogue's had a bum job?
I'd have to see it.
Next.
Okay. What do you make of Will Young's single? He's the Pop Idol winner. It's going to net record-breaking sales, apparently. It's going to go straight to #1. He's had millions of copies sold.
I heard last week that you had to, if you wanted to buy it from Woolworths, you had to go in and put £1 down to guarantee getting a copy.
Wow.
I think that's stupid.
But what do you make of it, though? Do you think...
What, as a song?
as both as a song, and are you excited about Will Young and his future?
No, he'll do all right. I don't think we have to worry about him.
Okay.
He'll do all right. It's not my thing, but seems like a nice bloke.
Okay, very good. What do you make? Yeah, one final one then. What do you make of our scientists getting the go-ahead to clone embryos for research? We have discussed cloning before, and obviously there's the pros and cons of that. Christopher Reeve, former Superman star, he's behind this. Are you behind him?
Yeah. I mean, with everything, you have your good and your bad, don't you?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you didn't have bad things in the world, then you wouldn't enjoy the good things. I think, it's like if you didn't have robbers in the world, policemen wouldn't have a job. So it's the same thing. It's like, it's an illness. Yeah. What are they messing with?
It's probably a bit too detailed to go into there, really, but,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's good and bad. You can't have it all.
Yin and yang is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, Carl, I can't argue with that, mate.
I want to play a track now that I haven't heard for a while. It's The Verve, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sonnet. Lovely song.